Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of Behind Enemy Lines with myself, DT, along with Yazzie and Coxie, as always, just like last week. Yazzie, how you doing today?
I mean, not too bad. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Maine, just kind of chilling. 3-day weekend. Fine.
Absolutely. Yeah, bear with us. Everybody except for me is in kind of a different setup this week, so there may be some more audio and visual hiccups. I know we had some in our first episode. This is still a work in progress, but we're working through it. So we appreciate all the feedback that we got from last week's episode as well, and we're eager to send out another one for all of y'all today. Before we get started with anything, I have to also ask Cox how he's doing today. So how the hell are you, buddy?
That's a difficult question to answer.
Tough one on Thursday. We'll get into that.
I'm doing all right.
We'll get into that in a little bit. We got a lot to cover. The other big piece of feedback we got is we ran a little long last time. We got excited. We got off topic a little bit. We had a lot of things going on. So we're going to try to keep this a little bit tighter. And you'll see the ways that we do that throughout this as we start going through. But let's jump first right into this week in football. Again, the major news coming out of the NFL this week is more COVID cases. Obviously, the major thing for us being behind enemy lines here in New England is Stephon Gilmore testing positive. Shutdown corner now in lockdown, I guess, for a little bit, 14 days. So that's going to obviously... he's shut down. But that's going to create an interesting dynamic there. Obviously, the Titans are still having some positive tests come out, which is affecting the league in very odd ways. And also the Jets had what was deemed a positive, but very recently, within the last hour or two, I think, was reported as a false positive, and they're good to go.
That is good.
As a result, what is it? New England's playing Monday again or Tuesday? When are they playing? I forget.
I believe they're playing Monday at 5.
Monday at 5.
Monday at 5, yeah.
Odd.
Man, I'm not going to complain about another doubleheader, though, because that was actually kind of fun last Monday.
Well, isn't that a
super
triple?
fun.
Because aren't there 2 Monday night games already?
There's 2 Monday nighters and a Tuesday now.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Bills Titans will be on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, because of the more positive tests there. It's just so odd. Again, we talked a little bit about how it's going to affect scheduling last week, and you guys said it was going to just keep running and keep running. With more of this coming out, are you guys still in that camp, or how are you guys feeling?
Go ahead, Ryan.
I feel it was okay. So, in hearing a lot of how things were handled with New England and Kansas City, has me a little worried. It's just a lot of, I feel like a bunch of it's kind of pandering, from the NFL's point of view, in terms of trying to maintain some sort of favor with the court opinion. But to have them fly out Monday to go play the Chiefs on 2 different buses, 2 different planes, and then have them go into that tiny little visitor locker room and all be in the same place is, as the NFL, I feel like you should have had some sort of better preparation or plan for that. Like, you can't have that. You just can't have these oversight. These you can't have these kind of screw-ups. You just can't. So that concerns me, but I feel like they're gonna be able to figure it out. And maybe I'm misplacing my trust, but again, like we talked about, there's just way too much money. They have to find some way to complete the season, whether that's doing home team bubbles. I don't know, but they're gonna have to figure something out.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Jay, what's your input on it before I start?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Ryan on the whole. They travel that day to play a game that night. I don't know what one day really does. I mean, they're supposed to play what, Sunday afternoon at like 4,
something like that.
They ended up playing Monday at 7. I think, to Ryan's point, that's just pandering. That's just like doing something for the sake of doing something. It's not really. There's no information to back up why they did that. One day doesn't change shit.
Right. That and the fact that Gilmore tested positive after the fact. They played a full ass game, and for those who don't know, football's a contact sport. You're very close to other people. So the other odd thing with the Gilmore test, but also in general, is the distribution of people getting sick. Like Tennessee is ravaged, but they played a game and everybody's fine on the team they played. And now New England's having these like little pockmarks come up, but like everybody's
see,
okay on the Chiefs. Like
that
it's
meme that's
so
been
interesting.
It's been going around the streets of Gilmore giving Mahomes a hug right after the game. Everyone's freaking out about it.
Oh no, I didn't see that. Oh my
Bill's
God.
trying to give
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't see that, but I think.
Sorry, I cut you off, but I needed to say that.
No, I mean, I get it. I love a good meme as much as the next guy, so I totally get it. I hadn't seen that, but I think it is interesting to see like how the virus is spreading in these weird intimate environments. Like we've seen all the news about like in communities and states and how it spreads throughout the country and the world, but these are like athletes who are in close proximity for an extended period of time that then like it seems to be peppered throughout. And I don't know if that's an immunity thing or what. It's just like I think it provides a lot of interesting data about the virus itself more than anything else. That I think, and obviously the NFL has the technology we talked about last week, the little bracelet chips that they have, so they know who in contact with who, and they can go all the way down the line. So I think there's a lot of good, generally just disease research that can go into using all of that data that they're getting from this.
Yeah, and I really feel like that, this virus has really presented itself as quite an interesting challenge because there's so much variability and inconsistencies how it's transmitted, where it's most likely to be transmitted, to whom, and like asymptomatic versus symptomatic. There's just so many variables and so many things that we still just don't really know. That's what I mean by the NFL can't afford to have these kind of lapses. But like, yeah, you take the time to split them up. Those who were in close contact with Newton and those who weren't. But then as soon as they get to get to Kansas City and they're in the stadium, they're all crammed into an enclosed space in a visiting locker room that's very, very small. So it doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense.
It's really odd. It really is odd. But like I said, it doesn't seem, as opposed to our conversation last week, things clearly haven't seemed to improve. So I'm still like leaning towards the fact that it may still get shut down. I think at some point, to make a bar rescue reference, if the bar's in such rough shape, eventually you got to shut it down.
Shut it down now.
Shut it down now. So like like how many people have to get sick? Like what's the limit on that is the other like moral question that you have to think about here.
I think you made a good point with the contact tracing, because I was reading, it was on Bleacher Report today about because the Jets had that false positive.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting to read how they go about when that happens, because I think something like 20 teams have had, or not 20 teams, 20 people on 5 teams, I think it was. I could be completely wrong on that, but multiple teams have had these false positives pop up. And how they do it is, so like anytime you're in the facility, you're wearing like this huge thing on your chest that that traces exactly who you were in contact with, where you were, your like respiratory stuff, your like your like what your temperature is, and so everybody that was within, I think it was 6 feet, obviously, of the guy that they never released the player's name on the Jets that popped with the false positive, but anybody that was in the facility with, I think it was like within the last week, that was within 6 feet of him was immediately tested, like probably half hour after.
And I believe it.
Yeah.
Full blown.
So that's I think that is like just reading all like how extensively they're testing and how extensively they're like, to your point, not really researching it, but it is an interesting case study of what's happening, like team to team.
They're getting a lot of data and they're doing the best they can with what they got. It's just going to be interesting to see how that shifts if this continues to happen.
But then you got like the Titans, who they had like 20 staff,
it's insane
players, and then they were at like some high school practicing the next day. I personally, I hate the Bills, but I think that, in my personal opinion, I think the Titans should have forfeited the game, period. Because they just had a blatant disregard for the safety protocols that the NFL has been putting forth.
Yeah.
That and pay the bills. Game checks, because the Bills will lose out on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's insanity. I mean, eventually, if this keeps happening, especially specifically with Tennessee, a precedent has to be set. You can't keep
Yeah.
pushing these
Yeah.
out. Like,
I thought they should have
Absolutely.
done this week.
they're
First,
coming. That's the other like question though: is how many games can you push back before you have to start doing things like that? Like,
well, they already told coaches because they had that whole mask debacle. Was it last week or
Mhm.
2 weeks ago? And they told teams that they were going to start taking draft picks away if they had more mask violations,
oh,
which
interesting.
I think could be potentially a bigger deal than forfeiting games. I mean, not necessarily this year, but in the long run, that could be a bigger deal. You know?
No, no,
I believe I heard somewhere too that they're going to actually be able to throw a flag actually during games if they coaches approach officials without a proper
should.
mask on.
I mean, they throw
I
flags
think
when
they're going
the
to
coach is on
throw
the field.
a
Why can't they
flag.
throw a flag when he's not wearing a mask
Yeah.
during a
yeah,
pandemic?
they
I think it's going
violated
to be a 15-yard
protocol.
penalty.
It's a legal
Yeah.
procedure, right? Technically, that would probably be what it
Yeah.
falls under. I think that makes total sense, and I think
That's a
they
great point, right?
they have to start continuing to make those calls and like enforce those things and have that precedent set going forward for there to be any sort of real change. But I do think it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think specifically for the Patriots, obviously losing the Defensive Player of the Year is going to be very interesting for them in the coming weeks, to say the least, along with their starting quarterback. But we'll get to that a little later. Any final thoughts on the COVID thing before we move on to Thursday's game?
No, I'm good.
Perfect.
Really
All right. Well, obviously Thursday's game was another tough one for one of our humble podcast hosts here. Last
Yeah,
week,
I wore gear this time.
last week it was Jason's lament I have on the run sheet, and I mean Ryan's lament this week. So I'll have you take the lead. Run us through what went on there, Ryan.
Okay. So
Well, first of all,
I'm
you
going to speak
lost. I
directly.
want to get that out there.
Yeah,
I want to get that out there right now.
20-19. I want to speak directly. I want to speak directly to Bruce Arians for a second. I know I can see it, but I'm going to speak to him. Bruce, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to discipline the players, please. I get. Win or lose, we booze. I get the laid back philosophy.
Hell yeah,
Tom
brother.
can't be the only one yelling. He can't. Tom. Eventually, that's going to go on deaf ears. You have. We can't have 11 penalties for 109 yards. That can't happen. If it's that lost us the game. And there's one drive in particular that I'd really love to highlight. This was in the third quarter. So we start out 1st and 10 at the 50. Okay, short pass, Cameron Brate, 1 yard. Okay, then
Tom Brady special essentially, but continue.
Yeah, pretty much. So then we get going. This is where it gets really fun. So we have a 1st and 10 at the Chicago 35. I believe this is when it was. I forget what the score was here, but I'm pretty sure. I think they were down 2. Tom Brady Ronald Jones goes 5-yard run. But wait, penalty. That'd be an offensive holding for 10 yards on first. Okay, so now let's back that up. So 1st and 20. Okay, so let's throw to Gronkowski for 15 yards. Mike Evans decides to literally throw a human being with his hands, and then go, what? That's a what? On what? Who you threw a flag on me? For what? Okay, yeah, let's move that back. Okay, so 1st and 30 now. We start this little sequence, 1st and 10 at the Chicago 35. We started the drive at the 50. So now it's 1st and 30 from the Tampa Bay 45. We're literally 5 yards back from where we started the drive. Are you kidding me? Are we for real right now? Oh, and then Brady sacked for 6 yards. Oh, but there's a penalty on Smith, and then for offensive holding, but it offsets with a Khalil Mack penalty on time. And, that's okay. So it's still 1st and 30. Like, do you see where I'm going here? And then, Tom Brady throws an 11-yard pass. Oh, but Jensen decides unnecessary roughness. I'm gonna headbutt him. like I'm gonna get up and like I'm gonna feel disrespect. But are you, dude? Come on! This was the most ridiculous sequence I've ever seen. You can't have that. You just can't have that. It's that undisciplined play that cost us this game. It's gonna cost us multiple other games. You win this game, you're going 4-1 to play Green Bay, and then you lose to Green Bay. Fine, you're still 4-2 in control of it. You can't lose these kinds of games. These games matter. The Saints are gonna figure it out. They always start slow. They figure it out. You have to build a lead now and hold it. You can't have this be a problem. That's my biggest thing with this game. Tom looked great. Ronald Jones looked fantastic. I honestly I didn't see Rojo working out. I was like, if you're bringing Fournette in here, there's a reason you're bringing Fournette in. Maybe it was to just ignite Rojo, but he looks good. Tom can throw. When you get Godwin back and you get your weapons back offensively, I think it's going to click. Also, Gronk's done. Can we all agree? Gronk's done. The lumbering and laboring, like it was painful to watch him try and run.
It's been like that for like 3 years though before he retired.
I know, but there was, I don't know, there was just this, and maybe it was just me, but I have a sense that there was a sense of optimism with, okay, he took a year off, he's slowly getting back into the offense. I get that it's going to take him a little time, but he just looks labored. And there were some throws where I'm pretty sure Tom wasn't throwing him the ball, but he decided I'm going to try and jump up and take it, even though Mike Evans was open and like, oh, okay, all right, I guess. But
that's a fantastic one, actually, because I had the same thought multiple times.
For me, it was the penalties, undisciplined play, and Tom was visibly frustrated. He really was.
Yeah.
Like after that sequence that we talked about, he went off, and they had to cut the audio because he was so just furious. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah.
It's infuriating.
Sloppy teams what kills talented teams the most. I think that's I'm being a victim of that right now with Arizona. I'll talk about that a little later on, but that we're in a very similar boat where we're just playing sloppy in a lot of ways. So I think that's the biggest thing is tightening that ship up. That's what Belichick does so well. They play error-free football, and that's a big boon to the success that they've had this whole time. How do you feel? Before I let like Jay chime in, how do you feel about that whole like 3rd, 4th down controversy deal that's blowing up the internet? What happened?
Really don't. I mean, I guess you could have seen your moment, but I don't really feel like that's. I think he's just really, really frustrated. I think he's happy to not be coached by Belichick anymore, but I think he sure as hell wishes everyone else was. Because it's he's used to watching other teams completely capitulate with undisciplined penalties, and now he's seeing the other side of that, and either he's gonna have to figure something out, or please, Brucey, baby, look at me. Please, something.
He was mine first, you bastard.
You get. Hey, look, yeah, but he's not yours now. He moved on. We got Tom for this year and one other year. We don't figure it out.
All right. I just wanted to know if your take if Tom blew that or if it was a victim blaming thing.
I mean, it was just it was a bad throw. It was bad, but like he lost track of down. Like I'm not gonna kill him for it.
I saw you cringe and shake your head a little bit, Jay. I want you to get your licks in if you have anything to say before we move on here.
At which statement in particular?
Any of it. It seems like you got a lot of feelings about that diatribe, and I want
to.
I want to give everybody a chance to counterpoint.
Yeah. So I don't like nowadays. I'm a working man. I don't typically watch all of Thursday Night Football unless it's something I'm really intrigued with. I didn't plan on watching this entire game. I was actually going to watch the replay while I was. How many good pass rushers has he played against in his career? And now like I think he's showing his age, honestly.
He's always had, but he's always had an amazing offense. Cannot give you that. New England has always had fantastic offensive lines. The
They
2 years
haven't though. They've
that they
had a
did, no,
fantastic system.
Here
no,
we
the
go.
2 years that they haven't, the one where Dante Scarnecchia first retired, and then this past one, those were his worst years.
But
He
you put most of
he's
those
a-
offensive lines on any other team, and they would have been absolute dog shit.
but not with Scarnecchia. Scarnecchia was the glue that held that together. He really, really was. But Brady he's not mobile. He's a dead breed of quarterback. He's the last of his breed. You
Yeah.
have to be able to protect him. Because if you rush 3 and drop 8, which is what they did a lot, Brady's just going to sit there. He's not going to run. He's not going to run for the first down. He's going to sit there. Which, I mean, if Khalil Mack's one of those 3 rushing, he's going to get there. Especially against Tristan Wirfs. He's a rookie. Like, he's going to eat him up. And he did. So,
I have a
mean,
phenomenal amount of respect for Wirfs though, because he has been very commendable. His first 4 games, 5 games.
Oh, he's been way better than expected. Way better than I expected.
I was. You can ask D on this one. I was very low on Wirfs coming out because he was protected as a guard coming out of college, but he's come up. He's played against some of the best pass rushers in the NFL. He played against Cameron Jordan week 1. I believe he played against Joey Bosa week 3. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who was the other premier pass rusher he went up against?
I don't remember their games off the top of my head.
There was one more before this week. I can't remember who it was.
You should know, Bucks fan.
Really good.
I think Bosa was week 4 because they played the.
I'd have to look it up, but anyway,
Yes.
he's been good. He's going to be good. I thought Ronald Jones showed a lot of wiggle, and I thought they should have gave it to him a lot more than they did.
Yeah.
I love me some
Yeah, he
Ronald
looked
Jones.
great.
I've been telling you both
looked
that for
great.
years.
And I know that
Great.
Brady loves his tight ends, but Mike Evans is one of the best receivers in the NFL. Period.
Just
Period.
let him go get it. Let him go get it more.
He didn't.
He was questionable going. He's questionable going into the game. He's dealing with nagging
multiple plays.
Yeah, but there were plays that he would normally there were some throws where he would normally jump up and get them because but that Brady's going to throw it to where only he's going to get it. But Evans can't make that extra little go up and get it because he's dealing with injuries.
I also feel 20 years in that Patriot system makes Brady not want to throw those jump balls.
Yeah, or uncork it, really.
Evans will get the jump ball.
Arians is really having to kind of tell him to do that. It's a weird mix.
Yeah.
Because whenever they get in 2 or 3 tight end sets, that's Brady.
Yeah.
That's Brady's offense. Anytime where they're no. When they get in those and they're gonna drop back and protect, and then just have Evans or Godwin stretch and go deep. That's Arians. So it's a weird melding, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's something that's still gonna get better, but I think Brady's arm is still there. He can throw it. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's underthrowing," or "Well, he doesn't have the arm anymore." Now he's actually overthrowing guys. His arm's there. I think we're seeing lapses in mental judgment just because of how, and I don't blame him for being frustrated. I really don't. I don't put any of this on Tom at all. This is the offensive line. The offensive line was bad.
He had for every good play he had 3 overthrows, 3 underthrows. I didn't think he played well. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't think he played well.
I thought he played just fine. His number. He was
scared of Khalil Mack for the second quarter on. He saw ghosts.
I don't think he's okay. No, I don't think he saw ghosts at all.
From a Jets fan,
he saw Mack coming at him because he was getting around worse.
Either way,
I just love his just bundle up into a ball every time a defender's anywhere near me in the pocket.
Yeah, that is true.
All I'll say, either way, I think we're missing the most important point here is that Nick Foles clearly has Brady's number. and I'm
Yeah.
here for it. I
The
love
Bears
me some
are
Nick
way-
Foles.
The Bears are good.
Yeah.
That defense is great, and it's the
I
Bears
like
are
the defense
good.
a lot.
The defense is fantastic.
One of my hot takes for tonight was going to be, we're going to look back on the season and go, the Bears were 4-1.
Really?
Oh no,
yeah.
no,
I like
the
the
Bears. I
Bears.
think the Bears.
They're
The
not
Bears will
good.
make the playoffs. They'll make.
They're the
Oh
worst
yeah, they
four
are.
teams in the history of the NFL, in my opinion.
No,
In the
the Bears are
history?
good.
I don't know about the history, but that's hyperbole, obviously, but still.
Bears
I like
are
the Bears.
good.
I like Montgomery. I like Nick Foles. Although I roasted you for it, I do like Allen Robinson. I didn't like him with Mitch throwing the ball to him.
No,
You
but
drafted
with
him with
Foles,
Mitch throwing the ball to him.
yeah, that's
that was
the
my
problem.
hang up.
What did I say immediately after you guys agreed with me? I'm like, oh, Foles will start, don't you worry. And lo and behold, guess what happened?
Well, now
That was something I said, and you all gave me shit.
is what it is.
But the Bears are
Anyways,
good.
Any last parting topics? We got to move on. You got any parting thoughts on this? I just wanted to talk about Nick Foles being 2-0 against Tom Brady.
No.
We're good there?
No.
Then we're good there.
Good.
The last fun thing I want to bring up, because I do have a buddy on Twitter who's a big red football team. Oh my God, almost actually fucked it. A big football team fan over in Washington. So I get a lot of Washington football team Twitter takes on my timeline, and I found it very compelling, the drama going on between Dwayne Haskins and the Washington football team. Do any of you guys know anything about this before I give you a little synopsis?
I mean, I know that now Haskins has been he's not the starter, and he's not the backup. He's
No.
now the third string quarterback. So that's about what I know, and I'm pulling for Alex Smith to get back in there.
I don't think Alex Smith should take a live pass rush again, personally.
Oh, I want him. I want him to throw.
I love the guy. I'm very concerned about his leg. But the big thing with all that is Rivera's gone out and said he hasn't given up on Haskins. All these other things. Haskins has since unfollowed Washington football team, and all of this little I'm talking all these little dramatic things. It's very odd, and it's compelling to me to watch the fan base and
It's
their
the paper
reactions to
trail.
all this. But the one thing I want to bring up is and one of the big comparisons I've seen is people are going nuclear about Dwayne Haskins' performance, but he's objectively playing a lot better than a lot of other good starting QBs right now.
Yeah.
The three that come to mind, again, stats, Jay's going to fucking roast me. I'm not going to actually bring the stats out.
I just give you shit.
But I
because you're
know,
kind of stats man.
generally, statistically, right now, he's playing better than Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold,
Mhm.
and and Carson Wentz, actually, are the three that I can find. That
And Kyler Murray. He has better passing stats than Kyler Murray.
better passing stats, yeah, but Kyler's breaking people's ankles on a week-to-week. So.
I know, but I'm just saying.
He's on the third string after he throws for 312 yards with
Yeah.
0 picks. As a second-year quarterback in a new system, and I mean, he got thrown to the wolves last year, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It baffles the mind to me what they're trying to do here. But that organization's been a mess since those allegations came out over the summer.
Well, the Redskins make the Jets look, like a compliment.
The football team.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Unbelievable.
I'd like to speak to the manager.
Well, it's like with the fucking Chargers with the LA.
manager,
I still
fuck.
call them the San Diego Chargers to this day, and I won't
Sometimes.
stop. They're always going to be the San Diego Chargers tonight.
I will say that Dwayne Haskins does have, maybe it's just a matter of not being dynamic enough. I don't know. His average completed air yards, that's the worst in the league at 3.8.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what they're going off of. He's just not it's too much short yardage. Not looking, maybe not going through his progressions right. I don't know if there's something on the film that they're seeing that we're just not privy to or just not looking at. I don't know, but it just seems awfully weird. I do get that, Kyle Allen being with, Ron Rivera in Carolina, there's a rapport there. So maybe it's something like, this is my offense. Watch how these guys prepare. Watch what they, especially with Kyle Allen. Look at, like, he knows me. Look at what I'm looking for, and kind of, draw example from that. I don't know, but it does seem odd, especially to drop into the third.
It's super
Like
odd.
dropping behind Alex Smith is
Yeah.
what I think.
I think the big thing too is like that offense has proved they can move the ball. They got some good guys. I love me some Terry McLaurin. I think Sims is good. Like they got
Gibson's been really good.
Yeah, Sims is a dark horse. I feel like
they got
you
pieces.
expect much out of him, but he produces.
They got pieces. I think it's about assembling it, and maybe they think Alex Smith has that reputation of being a guy who will get the ball moving for you guys. He won't lose you games. He's like that stereotypical game manager, even though I hate that turn of phrase, but like he won't lose you games. And maybe Ron just wants to see like, what does this look like with a guy that we know is like a steady Eddie in there. And then maybe it becomes a thing where Haskins can maybe learn some things seeing that live. I don't know. I believe Ron when he says he hasn't given up on him. It's just more like, I guess if there's a time to make that kind of move, it's now. But it's got.
I mean, I also don't.
It's weird timing though. That's the thing. It's weird timing after he just had a pretty fucking good game.
Yeah.
And that offensive line is dog shit. Let's be honest. It's not good.
Are they tanking?
No, I don't think so.
You don't
I don't
think
think
so?
they should.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
Because it's the coach's call, right? The GM's not. He's not in charge of the depth chart.
No. Unless you got like a Jerry Jones situation. I don't know how power crazy Dan Snyder is. I know things are like gross.
I'm pretty sure, isn't Rivera also the GM?
I don't know, but if it's coming from Snyder though, that's the thing.
I think Rivera is both the GM and the head.
I don't know. Oh, he might be. He might
So
be.
I think he's making these calls. Like they are completely
You're loud
trusting
now,
him.
Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, am I?
Unbelievable. So unprofessional.
What kind of lack of respect? Now you're better. Oh no, we can't hear him.
So, well, that's fine. He can just push the talk. So, I with him being, I'm pretty sure he's the GM. So, with him making these calls, I mean, he could really just be seeing what he's got on staff.
You are correct, sir.
And so he could just be seeing what they have on staff, and if they don't do well this season, oh no, what are they going to do? Are they going to fire Ron Rivera?
Probably not.
No, they're not. So I could see this being like let's see what we've got, especially because Kyle Allen. See how Alex Smith is. Kind of almost do like a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Give guys like 4 weeks, and then back half of the year, back into the year, you can go with what worked best, and kind of really see what you've got, and then that way you can really kind of tackle the season and go into next year with a real good plan. And you know what you have, you know what you need to improve, you know what you need to draft, and you can really kind of approach it that way. I think they're really going to end up having to build within a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Haskins going to end up being the answer there, just because he's so young coming out, and going to them when he did, it's going to almost kind of be like a Sam Darnold situation. He went to a shitty organization, way too young, thrown to the wolves way too quickly, and like there's talent there. Don't get me wrong. There's throws where you're just like, holy shit, that's a throw. But again, you got to coach the consistency up, and it might just be something where he's got to go somewhere else in order to find that.
Yeah. I think that's fair, and I think it's a similar thing where he might just want to see what he's got at this point. Like, you don't have a ton to lose there, and especially with somebody like Alex Smith, who is like a perfect person to appraise your pieces around you, because he's not going to lose you games.
Yeah, but Kyle Allen's starting, so that's like kind of a mute point, right?
Is Kyle Allen starting? I actually am not sure.
Alex Smith is not.
I
the
think
starter.
Allen's starting.
Okay, interesting.
So that's
Yeah,
that's
so-
like that's the thing that surprises me the most is like if you're gonna. So like to Ryan's point, like yeah, they might be trying to tank, but at the same time, I think I agree with you, D, where you should see if Alex Smith still has something left in the tank, because we all know Kyle Allen is going to be a career backup. Let's be honest. He's
Seems that
good.
way.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think Kyle Allen's had some like pretty good games. I think he could. Don't get me wrong. He's never going to be some amazing thing, but I could see him like being a borderline starter. Like yeah, he'll probably be a journeyman, but like I could see him being
Rod
being a
Taylor.
borderline
I can
starter.
see him as Rod Taylor. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited. I'm weirdly excited for that game, exclusively like for that dynamic and what's going to happen there. So I think it'll be a good thing to kind of keep an eye out for this weekend as we go through our slate of games. And speaking of that, I think we're going to get to predictions and takes for this week. We went way too long last time, and we learned that. So what we're going to do is we're each going to highlight a game that we find interesting, a single individual game, and then we're going to rapid fire just predictions for the rest of the games in the league. That should really speed up the process here, and I'm hoping it goes well. Well, we might talk about length about each of these 3 individual games. I'm going to open up, and I'm going to go with Broncos versus Patriots. Because I think it's the best of both worlds, considering we are behind enemy lines and the Patriots are always going to be a topic of discussion for us. But we also have a Broncos fan that has made themselves known kind of within the comments and within our first episode. And I want to do right by them and give them a little bit of justice. So I think my take is I think Denver wins this game. I think Denver wins this game. I think it hinges on the fact that Cam's still out and that their number 1 corner defensive player of the year is out. I think they looked good against a Jets team that obviously we've talked about at length, doesn't always look the best. But this is also a momentum league. You get that 1 win under your belt. New England's not exactly looking like a prize after the KC game. Obviously, KC's a totally different animal. But I think you have guys in that offense like Gordon, Lindsey's coming back, Judy. There's a lot of good pieces there in Denver that I think will give the Patriots fits, especially with their franchise quarterback out and their best defensive player. I think this game's going to be really compelling, and I can see the Broncos pulling it out. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I could see that happening. I don't think it. I can see it happening. Doesn't mean I think it will. I don't know. I just think the Broncos. They're too demoralized and too beaten, and I just it's just not, it's Bill. I'm betting on Bill. I hate it, but I'm betting on freaking Bill. That's all. You know what? I'm disgusted with it. Move on. Jay.
Yeah, I mean, they say any given Sunday. There's no fucking way the Broncos are beating Bill. It's just not going to happen.
Look what I mean. Look what he was able to do with KC.
Yeah,
like
they were
he'll figure something out
until halfway through the third quarter, and
yeah,
no one fucking thought that was
pisses me off.
And I know that Gilmore's out, and he's a phenomenal cornerback. Don't get me wrong, but it's Bill. It's Bill versus was it Thingpin? What the hell's his fucking name?
Fangio?
Who cares?
No. The quarterback for the Broncos.
Oh, Rypien.
Rypien. Yeah, exactly. The fact that
maybe it's Rippin. I don't exactly know how it's pronounced.
I think it's Rippin.
It's not gonna fucking happen, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go Patriots like 31-7. Honestly.
Ooh.
Oh God, no! Their offense isn't good enough for that.
Yeah, but the Broncos offense is bad enough for that.
No, this will be 21-17.
I think it's going to be something like that.
They hung in there with the best team in the NFL.
The Chiefs played like dog shit, and you know it.
Yeah,
they
did.
Come on.
They played like shit. I have the Broncos. Come at me. You guys can roast me.
I will come at you because that's not going to fucking happen.
All right, cool.
I'd be super happy if it did.
I would too. I'd be ecstatic.
Be over the moon.
Give me the Broncos here. I'm liking it this week. They have a short week, late, weird flight. Everything's falling in line for Denver to pull an upset here. So
I'd love it. I would love it.
I'm going for it.
I'd love
Ryan, what's your game? What's your game of the week? for
Okay.
us?
So, I think we all know of a nice. I have a special T-shirt occasion.
Oh, really?
So oh yeah, I think we all know of a certain hashtag that we've been wanting. So for a certain quarterback, and I could think of nothing better than a little Swedish chef because they gotta let Russ cook. Let him cook. Let him cook just like the chef. Let him cook.
Oh my god.
I see how
You
it's
saved that for
thinking.
like a week that you said I have a special T-shirt. I thought it was gonna be like a throwback T-shirt. Or something.
No,
Nope.
It's
nice
just a
Vertifer.
Swedish.
You're chef.
Seahawks Vikings. This is going to be a shootout of shootouts. This is going to be fun. This is going to be passing. The Seahawks 1,285 pass yards already on a Vikings defense that is god awful. That has let up 1,167 passing yards. Now, mind you, the worst team defensively against the pass. Oh, that's the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Oh, and Justin Jefferson. Ding 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 ding. Hello, I'm here. NFL. Him and Thielen. I mean, you could argue it's probably going to be the new Diggs and Thielen. Maybe even better.
Ooh.
This is going to be fun. Just throwing the ball, kind of touchdown fest, and I am so looking forward to this. And I have the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks.
Okay.
Give me the Seahawks because Russell cooks way better than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is like, I don't know, like kind of it's kind of still like a somewhat dry pork chop. Like it's pretty much. But Russell Wilson is a fine steak with a nice glass of red wine. Give me some Russell. Let him cook. He's gonna make something delicious.
Over under 5.5 passing TDs for Russ.
5.5.
Yeah, I'm giving you the tough
That's a
one.
lot.
That's a lot. I'll still take the under on.
Yeah.
I think it's I could see 5. I could see 5. I could see something like like 1 to Lockett, 2 to Metcalf, 1 to Carson, and then like I don't know, like throw somebody else. Shit, who? So like it's and then when it comes to Vikings, they're gonna end up being behind. Someone's gonna end up being behind and having to throw, and they both love to throw anyway, and neither of them can defend it. This is gonna be ridiculous.
So
if in fantasy you have Dalvin Cook or Chris Carson, you're gonna be totally reliant on their catching because they're not gonna.
What I asked about Russ is because he has 2 games so far with 5 TDs, and if you think this is going to be such a shootout, I was wondering if you were willing to go the over on that because, I mean, he's been slinging it. That's just a fact. But if
yeah, that's what he does. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take the over. I'll do it.
Excellent.
You convinced me. I'll take it.
I mean, he's got 2 games of 5 TDs already, which is why I put it at 5.5 when you were talking about.
And then against this awful Vikings defense, like it's bad.
Yeah,
it's
I
bad.
feel you. I feel you, Jay. What do you got for that game?
I agree. I think it's gonna be a fucking shootout. Like Ryan said, both of these defenses can't defend the pass to save their ass. You'd think, signing an all-pro safety would help your pass defense a little bit, but the Seahawks just are not good.
Well, Adams has
so
been
far.
hurt.
What's that?
Adams has been hurt. He's been out the last game or 2, right?
I think it was just the last game, but I think he's out this game too. So there you go.
Metcalf's gonna feast.
I think Mr. Jefferson is gonna have a game.
I love Mr.
I think
Jefferson.
Lockett is gonna have a game. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have a hot take here. I think I have the Vikings with an upset here.
Weren't you the one who pegged them last week with the upset? Is this 2 weeks in a row you're pegging the Vikings up?
For some reason, I like the Vikings. I don't know why.
I like the Vikings too.
I have 0 ties to Minnesota. I've never even been to Minnesota, but I like them.
This because they're purple. Their uniforms are cool.
That's fair. I do like
Yeah,
purple.
they are cool.
They have fucking sick uniforms. I think Dalvin Cook. Well, I mean, Aaron Jones is pretty damn good too. Dalvin Cook's the better runner, though. I think they could open up the run game a little bit, and they have the passing game. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings. Let's go the high scoring one. Let's go 41-38. Fuck it, why not?
Ooh.
I like that. I think that score.
Oh, I didn't give a score.
Well, fucking hurry up.
Let's hold on. We're gonna go 54 to 47.
Fucking hell, that's an even higher scoring one.
I hope that is the score because that would be an amazing game.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
They're putting up they're putting up what, the Chiefs Rams numbers from the other year.
Oh, dude, that was amazing.
That was a
I
great game. Love that game. I agree with you guys. I think it's a shootout. I think it's a high scoring affair. I think the Seahawks win the game. I think what this comes down to, though, is which defense gets the key stop. Whether it's a goal line stand, I'm honestly in my bones. I'm feeling like a Shaq Barrett, whichever in the corner is the one who has two hands. Not to be offensive, but the one who has two hands, Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin. Kill Griffin.
Yeah. Him or Bobby Wagner makes the big TO to help propel Seattle to victory in that game. I think it is going to come down to who can actually stop a nosebleed in that game, and I think they come up with the key turnover and make it happen, Captain. But I like Yaz going for Vikings 2 weeks in a row. I love the dedication. As much as
I like him, man. I don't know why. I just do.
As much as it pains me as an NFC Wester to pick the, I'd love an upset by the Vikings, but Seattle's cooking right now.
I feel like the Vikings might be my second favorite team, and I have no reason for that to be a thing, but the way it is.
I'm excited to see the game as well. I think it's going to be very excited. And now, in terms of this week in football, we go to the main event of the weekend.
Which, by the way, can I quickly add with this? So, you guys are not only are your teams playing each other, but you guys are playing each other in fantasy as well. I find just absolutely hilarious. Oh, I didn't even know about the second one. That's hilarious.
How
the football gods want us to be at odds. This is our civil war.
Like, the odds of that happening are so minuscule. Like, it's just ridiculous.
It fucking happened, though.
Playing each other in 2 leagues, and our teams are playing each other. And we've had this whole weekend at the lake. Obviously, we can't, because usually...
We were going to go to the game before COVID. We were going to
go to the game. Exactly, yeah. But we were going to go to this game at MetLife. And we planned on it for, like, a while, like, way before COVID.
As soon as the schedule was released, really.
Yeah. Yeah, because the schedule was released, 2019, right?
Yeah, it was like winter 2019.
Yeah. So we were gonna go to the game, and obviously that didn't happen. So, yeah, it's gonna be
the most of it.
An interesting weekend.
1,000,000%. Jay, I'm having you take the lead on this one because I covered Broncos Pats. So, the floor is yours, my good chum.
Yeah. So Joe Flacco's starting this week. That's fun.
The brow, baby.
Looks like Perriman's out. Mims is out. Vincent Smith's back, though.
Le'Veon Bell's great?
What?
You still think Le'Veon Bell's going to be your savior?
I think it could be.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why do you hate Le'Veon Bell so much?
I hate your offensive line.
Middle of the pack, according to Pro Football Focus. So.
Yeah,
Depends on
well,
how much stake you put into those nerds.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell was on some of the snaps when healthy and really wasn't getting him many different plays.
All right,
or
Jay,
wins.
get in your analysis. How do you think this game is going to go?
We know Coxie hates the fucking Jets. That's fine. His team lost to a terrible Bears team on Thursday. So anyway, Joe Flacco, surprisingly, actually fits this offense better than Sam Darnold. I'm going to throw that out there. It is what it is. Adam Gase's offense sucks balls. That's just the way it is. But the reason it sucks balls is because it is meant for a quarterback about 10 years ago. guess who comes in this week to start the game? A
The
quarterback
new-
in the mold of 10 years ago.
The new Broadway Joe, they're gonna call him.
I don't think so. The Jets are going to lose this game.
I like that.
The Jets are going to lose this game handily.
Broadway Joe.
I would hate nothing more than for Joe Flacco to win this game and then all the Jets fans to go, "Oh, we should just start Joe over Sam."
Any other analysis other than the fact you're gonna lose handily?
Your defense isn't very good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, we've been playing JV defense for a while. It's been a bummer.
So I think it could be a lot closer than you are gonna be comfortable with.
Mm.
And I said this last week for your team, and it was a lot closer than you were comfortable with.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed about that. Our defense played like shit. We were sloppy. Like I said, if we were sloppy, things were going to go poorly. I didn't expect our defense to lay an egg that hard. That was a surprise.
Patricia was happy.
I'm sure. Patricia, that Detroit game sucked. That Carolina game sucked. I think the Jets are the perfect game for us to get that back. I think
it's a bounce back game. For sure.
I think we win this game. I think the key fun thing that I'm going to be watching all fucking night in this game, it's not going to be, Kyler Murray in the pocket. It's not going to be, can Kenyon Drake finally fucking gain a yard this year? Like, fucking goddamn it. It's not
Chase Edmonds is a better running back.
I'm high on Chase Edmonds. I like me some Chase Edmonds.
I think he's better.
Could be the starter,
But
in my
what
opinion.
the fuck's going on with Kenyon Drake? I have no idea. It's not going to be.
You put money in a trash can and lit it on fire.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be. Does DeAndre Hopkins have literally infinity catches in this game, which is definitely a possibility. The most interesting thing to me about this game is a matchup, but it's not a matchup that you'd think it is. My huge thing that I'm going to be glued to all night is Chandler Jones versus the big ticket Mekhi Becton.
Big ticket is out.
No way! Why?
I just said I knew where you were going. I was like, I'm gonna ruin it for you because big ticket's out, brother.
What happened?
He's got that fucking shoulder injury. And Adam Gase, the best coach in the NFL, threw him back into the game against the Broncos.
Oh, I remember that now. Oh my god!
Played the fucking game. Yeah, he's not playing. So yeah, Chandler Jones is gonna eat. He's probably gonna have like 4 fucking sacks against statue Joe Flacco.
I'm down for that.
I'm gonna go probably like 34 to maybe 3. Honestly,
Ooh.
I don't think the Jets even fucking contend.
I'm gonna go 34-14 Arizona. I think Hop has 2 TDs. We haven't let Ryan.
Hop's
talk.
gonna have like 150 yards and like 3 touchdowns.
I haven't let Ryan talk at all, so because this is a big matchup for us. Now it's your turn.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I really enjoy what Jason said about Adam Gase's offense being meant for 10 years ago, and Joe Flacco being the perfect candidate for it.
Are you gonna take this and pick the Jets?
I think I am.
You're fucking.
I think I am.
You're fucking.
I think I am. I really think I am. I think this is going to be like some weird this is some 24-21 like weird like field goal at the end
for him.
Yeah.
Eat
Yeah.
dicks.
Yeah. It's yeah.
It's actually been pretty damn good.
You watch Crowder. Here's another hot take for you. Crowder will have a better game than Hopkins.
All right, I'm writing down all these hot takes.
Are we taking bets on this? I will bet against you on that.
Crowder. the thing is I don't believe a fucking word of saying.
Yeah, I know you're not.
But
Son of a bitch.
for the sake of fun, Crowder will have a better. He's gonna have more catches. He'll have one more touchdown. And he'll have one more touchdown.
One more touchdown?
So Hopkins will get 1. Crowder will get 2.
All right.
I could see Crowder having a statistically better like fantasy football stat line, but
which would lead to just a better stat line.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I think Hopkins is.
I feel like
I'm
such a
gonna, I'm
smart
gonna, I'm gonna paraphrase this the best way I know how. And
receptions versus because James Crowder could have 11 receptions, and then Hopkins could have 2 receptions for 2 touchdowns, and Crowder could technically have the better stat line in fantasy football.
I'm gonna channel Jaws here in terms of DeAndre Hopkins. Just let you know he eats people. He's gonna eat people. It's gonna happen.
He's good at football.
but Crowder's gonna kill you with 1,000 little paper cuts. One reception for 5 yards, but he does it 18 times.
You guys want to put betting odds on if Gates gets fired in season or not?
I think he does. I wanted him to get fired last week.
He should have. That's why I'm putting betting odds on it. I'm gonna go no.
I think he does.
I'm gonna watch. I feel like they're dumb, so they're not gonna do it.
I'm trying to put.
I'm betting on them being dumb, which seems to be a better bet than them being smart.
All right,
so
BT, we're also watching that Clemson game tomorrow night because I want to see my next quarterback in action.
Right, that's fine. All good. So to wrap up, I have the Cards and you both have the Jets. You can eat a dick, Ryan Cox.
No.
I told you I have the Cards.
It's the Cards.
Oh.
I said it was gonna be 38 to 3.
Oh. So we both have the Cards and Ryan has the Jets. What the
That's
fuck?
right.
Right, you want to put money on that? Because I like free money.
No.
I also like free
no,
money.
I don't. I'm
right.
good.
In the essence of brevity, we have to get rocking and rolling here, gentlemen. So the next game we have is Jaguars-Texans. Ryan, who you got?
Give me the Texans. 24-20.
Gotcha. Jay?
Texans 31-10.
I think it's a 24-20-ish, like you said, for the Texans. Next up, Bengals and Ravens. Jay, who do you got?
Ravens 28 to... They're playing Bengals, right?
Yeah.
14.
Ryan?
Oh, give me. You know what? I think I'm gonna take the Bengals in this one. I'm gonna go Bengals. 27-23.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go like a 31-28 win for the Ravens. I think Joe Burrow looks good, but the Ravens win the game. Panthers Falcons. Ryan?
Panthers. I don't know, 30-20.
Yeah. Jay?
Falcons, I'm going to go 35-17.
Gotcha. I'm going to go Panthers as well. I think they really found their offensive style last week without CMC. And I think the Falcons are not reliable enough to do anything. So I got the Panthers in that one.
My one thing I will add, though, is I think Robbie Anderson has a really big game against the Falcons.
Yeah, well, we know you love Robbie Anderson. He's a former Jet great. We get it. Raiders Chiefs. Jay?
Chiefs. Probably like 42 to fucking, I don't know, 20.
Okay. Ryan?
Yeah, Chiefs. 37-40.
I got the Chiefs as well. I think it might be a little closer depending on how Derek Carr's feeling that day, but the Chiefs win that game. Eagles Steelers. Ryan?
Steelers. Big Ben has a big day. Give me 35-20.
Gotcha. Jay?
I'm gonna go Steelers 35-10.
Gotcha. I think it's the Steelers as well. I think it's Eagles have a tendency to come back this year. I'm gonna go it's gonna be something like 35-24 or something like that. They're gonna be down big late, try to come back, it not goes through. Steelers win. Washington football team versus Los Angeles Rams. Ryan?
Give me the Rams. I'll take the Rams 34-24. I just don't. I feel like this offense under Kyle Allen's gonna.
Fair enough, Jay.
Yeah, I got the Rams 27 to, let's say, 14.
27-14. I also got the Rams, as much as it pains me as an NFC Wester. I just think they're too high powered. I don't know, probably like 27-10ish, maybe 27-14, something around there. Dolphins Niners, Jay.
I actually have the Dolphins in this one.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 24-21 Dolphins.
Edging it out. Ryan, what do you got?
I would, honestly, I have to agree. I was going to take the Dolphins 27-20. So I just think the 49ers are just too beat up.
Yeah, well, they've been impressing a lot, even while hurt. I'm going to take the Niners here. I think.
Although Jimmy G is coming back this week, so
Yeah, I think that's a big.
For what that's worth.
I think that's a big boon. I think the Niners win this game, 30-24. Why not? Sure, we're just making shit up at this point. Giants Cowboys. Ryan.
Cowboys 44-20.
Yeesh. All right, Jay.
yeah, I think in my heart of hearts, I think the Giants get blown out. But I mean, I'm if I'm gonna do a hot take here.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Jones has a bounce back game. They still lose, but I think it's gonna be like 35-31 Cowboys.
Interesting. I think the Cowboys win as well. I think it's like a 2-score game. Something like that. I'm not going to give an exact figure because it doesn't matter as long as they win. Colts Browns, Jay.
So this was my most interesting game of the week, by far. I think the Colts edge it out just based on the defense. I just don't think Baker has it. I'm going to go Colts 28, Browns 14.
Awesome. Ryan?
Yeah, give me the Colts. The coaching staff of Cleveland has been talking up OBJ, but see Mayfield getting him the ball, and they need to figure that connection out. But
Yeah.
So give me the Colts 27-20.
Okay. I love the Colts defense a lot. I'm going with the Browns here, though. They're the most explosive offense in the NFL. They have the most passes of 20-plus yards and runs of 10-plus yards in the league so far. I think they have a chance here to catch the Colts D, even though they're hot. So I'm going to take the Browns here by like a field goal. It's going to be a close one.
Even with Chubb out.
Yeah, I think Kareem Hunt he's a dude in and of himself. He played fine. Chubb went down early last week, so I'm gonna take it.
I think with Kareem Hunt in there, it definitely makes sense. It could be way closer than people expect.
Yeah. The final game, or no, there's 2 more games. Chargers Saints on Monday. Jay.
I got the Saints in a close one actually. I'd go probably a 35-28.
Gotcha. Ryan.
Give me the Chargers.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think the Chargers can take this one. I'll take the same scoreline, but
Gotcha. I'm gonna take the Saints. I think it's gonna be a very close scoreline like that. It might even be closer by a field goal. I think for the second week in a row, Herbert gets outdueled, but I think he throws up another near 300-yard performance, just like I called last week, and he got 290 against Brady. I think this is another one where the young gun gets just a little bit outdueled, and experience wins out in the day, and the Saints take that one.
That's fair.
Final game, according to this, on Tuesday here, Bills Titans. Ryan, who you got?
Bills. Josh Allen.
Gotcha. You do want to fillet him, roughly.
He tends to do that.
Jay.
I want him to give me a big old kiss.
Jay.
I want to say Bills, just in like as an unbiased opinion, but I'm gonna go Titans. I'm gonna go with a big game at a King Henry, like a big game. The Bills' rush defense is not very good. I think he could have an enormous game, just like he did in the playoffs. So yeah, I'm gonna go Titans. Let's go 23-21.
I love that.
Well, you'd be wrong.
I love that scoreline, and I love that team. I'm also going to go with the Titans. I think the weird thing with all this COVID stuff that kind of is going unnoticed is that they have a week off. They were able to rest. Obviously, they're not like practicing or anything due to the outbreak, which could, on balance, be tough. But they haven't had to do the rigors of the NFL schedule in the way that the Bills have been doing, and they've been playing their ass off, and they're a hot team. They got a lot of momentum, but eventually that's got to wear on you, and we all know the Bills are going to bill at some point. They'll have hiccups throughout the year, even if they're good. I think they're due for a loss. I think Tennessee matches up well to hand them that loss. So I'm going to take a similar scoreline to Jay, and I'm going to take the Titans there.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. I think it's a good matchup.
Yeah.
For both teams.
I think it's a hell of a matchup, personally. But that is our quick fire set. That was way faster than before, and I kind of liked the format in which we did that. For those of you who are watching and those in the comments, we've had a couple of commenters. Really appreciate your feedback. Let us know how that went. If that was more to your speed and what you want, then we'll continue to do that. If you want something that's more in the middle but isn't an hour and 50 minutes, let us know that as well. We have one final thing, as we do every week, is I have the big debate question for you guys. And my big debate question for you guys today is, A, who has been the most impressive rookie so far, and B, who is your pick for Rookie of the Year? I don't know if either of you have something prepared that you want to lead off with. But I'll leave the floor to you unless you guys don't have anything.
I think it's gonna end up receiver. So many of
Really? Okay.
yeah, I think the rookie big. I mean, what? I mean, who? I mean, if you were gonna give it to a quarterback, who would it be?
I'll get to that.
I don't know. You know what? I'll just Justin Jefferson. I'll go with him.
Ooh.
I feel like he's got the. I feel like he's got the best, opportunity, to really make a big impact in his rookie year. With Diggs being, not there anymore, and he's into that role, I could, really see him having a really big, rookie year. But and the game script's going to work out for them. They're going to be behind.
Yeah.
Like the Vikings aren't going to make the playoffs. They're going to lose a lot, and so there's going to be a lot of opportunity for him to catch a lot of balls. But I mean, at the same time, I guess that could really hinder him getting Rookie of the Year. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, is he your pick for Rookie of the Year, or is he also your most impressive rookie so far?
He's he'll be my pick for Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
I'm definitely impressed with him so far. Him and T. Higgins.
I like T. Higgins.
Those are the ones. Yeah, those are the ones that have impressed me a lot. CeeDee Lamb too. The
receiver class is insane.
Receivers for me. Yeah, it's the receiver class for me.
The best receiver class, maybe in the last 20, 30 years.
Maybe
honestly.
Ever.
It's absolutely insane.
Jay.
And the thing is, oh, sorry, am I up?
Well, you can finish that point, but I figured it seemed like he was.
Oh no, it's fine. It's just an insane rookie wide receiver class.
Yeah.
So we're going for most surprising.
I said who's impressed you the most so far, and whether or not it correlates. Who's also your Rookie of the Year when it's all said and done?
I mean, Rookie of the Year is going to be James Burrow. Let's be honest.
Jameis Burrow? Who's the fuck's that?
Oh, sorry.
Joe Burrow.
Why did I Joe Burrow? Why did I say James?
I loved it though.
He was looking at that Buccaneers hat. But no, the most surprising is going to be the running back from Jacksonville, Robinson.
Oh.
Undrafted rookie. I think he's 11th in rushing in the NFL right now.
Oh yeah, he is playing pretty impressive.
Which is insane to me. And I'm a sucker for an underdog. So most surprising is going to be Robinson from Jacksonville. Joe Burrow is my pick for Rookie of the Year. Clearly, he's getting his ass kicked every play, and he's still producing a lot of yards. And he's 1-2-1 right now with a not good Bengals team.
Yeah. Now he's been impressive for sure. I think who I'm most impressed with, and it's a little bit of bias because I do think he's going to be really good. Can
I guess?
Sure.
Is it Artemis Cladfrog?
No, I thought about Cladfrog. I do love him.
Yeah. I know you do.
Because he's been producing as well. But the person I've been most impressed with / I'm super high on, that I think will probably have one of the more quality careers is Jonathan Taylor over in Indy. I love the work he's doing. I wanted to pick him as my Rookie of the Year, but for it to go to a running back, he doesn't have that explosive style like a Kamara who ran it and won it.
Yep.
But he's going to be a good 3-down type back between the tackles. He's got a little wiggle to him. Very impressed with Jonathan Taylor. But my pick for rookie of the year, I think it's going to be Justin Herbert, guys. I really do. The boy's been slinging.
Yeah.
He's about. I think he's.
Completely agree.
He's something.
And he was my runner-up for most surprising, just in the way he was thrust into that starting position.
Yeah, I think he's only like 100 yards down on Burrow, and he missed Burrow's got a game on him in terms like statistic wise.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the 1-2 punch. It's probably either going to be Burrow or Herbert, just because this is like a QB league. If I had to pick a position player. Other than that, I think Justin Jefferson's a huge contender. I love me some Jonathan Taylor, like I said. I think he's a contender as well. And I like we said before, I like T. Higgins. There's a lot of guys out there that are really good this year. This is a great rookie class. I'm gonna go with Herbert, but like I said, I'm pretty high on Jonathan Taylor. So keep him on your radars, boys.
I think the thing with Herbert too is that he's got better weapons than Burrow does. I mean, Burrow has, but don't get me wrong, Boyd and T. Higgins is great, and he's got hand the ball off too.
He's got the husk of AJ Green.
Yeah, seriously. But, I mean, like Herbert's got Allen.
I love
that's
Keenan Allen.
That's a huge win for him.
Hunter Henry's a good red zone guy too.
Absolutely, and I know they lost Eckler, but their running backs aren't awful.
Yeah,
they're he's got better weapons. So
Mixon's objectively good.
Joe Mixon,
yeah, he's good, but I just don't think the weapons compare to what the weapons the Chargers have.
So yeah, my picks are. Is there anybody else we want to like honorably mention in this conversation before we wrap up?
I do. I want to honorably mention the starting left tackle for the New York Jets and starting right tackle for the Buccaneers. They've both played out of their fucking minds, in my opinion. They might those are both cornerstone additions to an offensive. Offensive line is so in the back burner of everybody's mind, but the way that these two tackles have played is absolutely insane. And I'm an O-line junkie, as DT knows.
Yeah.
But it's just insane. Wirfs is good. He's gonna be good. Becton is, I think, the 6th rated offensive tackle in the NFL right now.
He's insane. I love him.
So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of intentions to get paid to the offensive line, so I'm just gonna say those two are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they were later in the first round than a couple other really good offensive linemen. So
yeah.
I'll give you a defensive player that I've been really impressed with. A little biased. Antoine Winfield Jr.
Oh.
Safety, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
He's really reading. He's watching the quarterbacks. Really, really, really picking up the defensive scheme of Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Really, really, really well, and he's making a huge impact on that team. Him and Davis.
Yeah.
Him and Carlton Davis. So impressed with both of them.
Yeah.
But for a defensive rookie, Winfield Jr. Yeah,
I have one too that I was gonna go out for defense. It's a little ironic that he really came alive during the game against the Cards, but I'm loving me some Jeff Okudah lately. That dude woke the hell up during the Arizona game, and he's been playing real well. So if I had to pick a DP or a defensive rookie, it's probably for me right now. I'm very high on Okudah. And I'm excited to see him. I'm a DB nerd in the way that Jay's an OL nerd, so I love watching those guys. And I've been impressed with Okudah. I think he's the first couple games he was looking really iffy, but he's earning that 3 overall pick status. The last couple weeks he's playing real well. So keep your eye on him as well. But if nobody else has any closing thoughts on that, I think we're ready to wrap up, gentlemen. We have a much tighter time here. It just clicked over to 1 hour and 15. So we cut about 40 minutes out.
40 minutes of total bullshit.
So we hope you like this format a little bit better. Please drop any feedback in the comments below. We do read the comments. I've been listening and loving the feedback from everybody so far. So keep
What's up, Edward?
What's up, Edward? We love you. So if you guys have any questions, thoughts, comments, takes, any things you want us to bring up, drop them in the comments. I read them all. We'll read them all. We'll bring them up if we find it's appropriate for us to do. But thanks so much for sticking with us. Week 1 was a fantastic success by my count. We had a lot of listeners, a lot of viewers coming in. So we really, really appreciate that. And we hope you keep coming back, especially with this abbreviated format. Any final words, boys?
I love all of you. Kisses.
This is
Way to fucking ruin it. All right. We will see you guys next week, and we hope you have a wonderful football Sunday, and we hope your teams win. Unless they're playing our teams, then they can eat dicks. You have a great night, everybody. Say bye,
Ta-ta.
guys. Say bye.
Bye.